Hello and welcome back to the Five Back Podcast. New week, long weekend. The first episode, sadly, without Ethan in Five Back Podcast history. But I'm joined today by Aiden and Liam. Boys, how are we feeling? How was the long weekend?
It's been an extended long weekend for me, and I've loved it. It was great. I did not work Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. It was amazing.
Man,
that time off.
That sounds very good. Liam?
Finished some summer school stuff, so now it's actually summer vacation. Minus working and stuff, but, it's good. Good long weekend.
Well, sports are slowly getting back into play. NFL season is almost here. Still, MLB. Actually, we should start off with the MLB quickly before we start, because there is 5 days until the Premier League season, which is really exciting for us here on the pod. We start off as a soccer podcast. We have that FPL league, so we're going to be talking a lot about that first, but there's a few things I want to dive into from other sports. We will be talking about the Erik Karlsson trade, but the first thing I want to ask you guys is, did you see the fight that happened in the MLB over the weekend?
I did not.
That was so fucking solid. Oh, God.
Well, Liam, do you remember the Jose Bautista punch when he got punched?
Yes. Yeah.
Remember that? Well, that sort of happened again.
But it was so less instigated. Like, it came out of nowhere, but it was so fucking good. Like, that was a solid.
Yeah. So it happened, ironically, the same night as the Jake Paul, Nate Diaz fight, but it was between the Cleveland Guardians and the Chicago White Sox. And I'll pull up the video for you here, Liam, so you could see it.
I don't think I've actually ever seen two guys legit square up.
Yeah.
Usually it's just gloves are on, a punch is thrown, but Tim Anderson legit squares up.
Yeah, he drops his glove, he's ready to throw, and then watch this. Gets one right hook and then knocked out. Just slept.
Yo.
Just got slept there by Jose Ramirez of the Indians. So I don't even know, Melon, what was wrong in the first place? What do you think he was mad at as someone that plays baseball? I don't really.
All I see is he says it's a hard tag, but I mean, what else do you expect? The ball's coming in that fast. You're sliding head first. So I mean, he doesn't really have much of a choice. It's more than likely going to be a hard tag.
So maybe
it's not like he had time to catch it, bring it down, and absorb it. It was just bang like that.
Yeah, I saw. It kind of looked like it hit the back of his head while he was going through. I guess that's a wild stop right there. But
yeah.
So I guess Ramirez had a problem with it.
I thought he was reaching for a hand up, and it looked like he just didn't get it or something, and then all of a sudden they were just chirping, and then
he just goes.
Umpire made the smart decision to get out of there, and
then
he slugged him.
And then just absolutely sleeps him. Now, are you a fan of Tim Anderson? He's pretty controversial in the league.
He's pretty controversial.
Yeah.
I mean, he is still a pretty good player. So
I mean, he has sucked this year, and then he gets slept.
How embarrassing is that though? He squares off
Yeah, he starts it. He looks
it.
He looks like, he's the favorite in the fight. He's got good stance going on him. But how do you bounce back from this mentally? If you're Tim Anderson, you're just getting clowned nationwide this week. How do you bounce back from this? Because he got knocked the fuck out.
that was the best undercard he could have had all.
Yeah, look, he's stumbling to get back to the dugout.
Did he play again that night?
Probably.
No.
They probably both got kicked out.
Yeah, well, obviously he got slept. Just what a hook.
Man had no idea what he was punching. He just punched.
Bro was just swinging,
More entertaining than the Diaz-Paul fight.
Bro was just swinging, but
And then Ramirez showed up the next day with boxing gloves.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, or I don't know if that was. Yeah, I thought that was an old photo that they pulled up after that, which was pretty funny. I guess in
baseball, there's not a lot of time for tensions to die down because you're playing so often, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they played each other the next day.
They played each other the next day.
Unless they got suspended though.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But,
but even the teams are probably a bit fired up now.
Oh yeah, that usually happens.
Yeah,
especially playoff baseball too and stuff. It gets rowdy.
Honestly, I don't know how you bounce back for that. That's got to be that's got to be the most humbling thing ever, especially when you're like having a bad season and then you get knocked the fuck out
The only way you can come back from that is if you like actually fucking go off.
and turns it around.
Yeah, like the bat just lights up and like it just the average shoots up.
Yeah.
Like, everything has to shoot up. And
So what would be your favorite knockout, this fight or the Jose Bautista one?
nah, that one's so much better because like there was actually a knockout. Like Jose Bautista just got rocked.
But I think that might have put a little bit more respect on Batista's name because he ate that punch. I don't know if you remember, Liam. I'll see if I can find the.
I remember how many years ago was it?
Ooh, this was quite a long
Like
time
15,
ago.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
15?
Here's the Bautista one just for comparison.
Oh, like 2015.
Yeah, look.
Oh, 2016.
Oh wait, is that?
Here's the Bautista one where he just gets absolutely rocked. But he ate that hoe.
See what I mean though? Like his glove isn't even Odor's glove isn't even off. Like those two guys actually fucking squared up.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give him respect. He ate that.
And bitch slaps him with his glove.
And then Tim Anderson goes down. So, the Brian Pepsich says this tops the Bautista fight.
Oh, for sure.
Because I think the squaring up and then just getting slapped.
I feel like Bautista took him more to the cheek though, not on the jaw.
Getting slapped. I mean, it's good that we have someone to pass the torch to because that Odor Bautista fight was pretty iconic. And then there's the Bryce Harper one where he threw that helmet at the pitcher. And now we have
Oh my god.
a new king of baseball fights. Not something you see happening often. But honestly, I'm in favor of making baseball fights become a thing like in hockey. You know, they're usually pretty entertaining in that sense. But we'll move on to hockey. Now, this is interesting as both of you guys are fans of both of these teams, which is it's kind of perfect to have you both on. We have our course talking about the Erik Karlsson blockbuster that happened yesterday.
What really caught him?
Now, before we look into the details, I want your initial thoughts. What you thought instantly when you saw the trade go down.
Finally. I knew we were in the mix for a while, and it was like seeing a lot of shit about like Karlsson and possibly to Pittsburgh or Carolina or like Seattle. I was just like, okay, like let's get this over with. Like if it's gonna happen, let it happen. And then like once you saw that we signed Drew O'Connor to that like really small deal or whatever, it was like $775 for like 2 years.
Yep.
That gave us like whatever room we needed to buy out or something. So they were like they was just saying like watching it, and I opened my phone like the one time and it was just like Karlsson mid out to Pittsburgh, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I saw Elliot Friedman put out a tweet saying like things are heating up, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected it to come. Liam, what were your thoughts on this trade instantly?
It was funny because I wasn't on my phone and I got a text message from Jared. He said, "You see the trade?" I said, "Like what trade?" And I had heard like from like a, you know, the upcoming or the past weeks that there was something between Pittsburgh and the Sharks brewing. I'm like, oh no. And then he's like, "You see the trade?" I'm like, "What trade?" Go on my phone, and I don't know. I mean, if you would have said he was going to the Penguins at the start of the off season, I was pretty adamant on him staying because, you know, he's already one of the worst contracts we've had. You know, we may as well ride it out. Like, we're in our rebuild.
Yeah.
He's coming off of a really strong season. We'll see if he repeats it with Pittsburgh, which I think he might. You know, Pittsburgh's a solid team, even though a lot of them are getting up there in age. But the return, like, I know initial thoughts. I feel like we got slightly fleeced.
I was gonna when I saw the trade at first, I thought San Jose got absolutely manhandled by Kyle Dubas. But you put on your story like, you know what, you said I like not that bad or whatever.
Yeah.
Could be worse, I think is the term you used. But now looking at it, do you think this is pretty shit return?
It would be if we didn't have that condition on their first round pick.
So
there was like something about like a top 10 protected like pick, whether it's like for this year or 2025. Like Hoffman's kind of a dud.
Hoffman is a dud.
Granlund's like a solid like center, sure.
Top 6.
And then I don't know much about Ruta. I'm not sure what you could add to that.
He's a bottom pairing guy.
Bottom pairing guy, exactly.
He didn't play too much, but I mean like role wise and like he's a tough guy. Like honestly, he's not like a bad guy to have.
Now,
mean-
what do you think about like losing DeSmith and everything too? Like I know you guys have Yari, but DeSmith
Well,
wasn't that bad of a goaltender.
Like,
either.
here's the thing: we signed Nedeljkovic, so
Oh,
that left us
shit.
with 3 goalies, which was kind of like, okay, Nedeljkovic didn't have a great season in Detroit.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Like, he'll probably sit in the minors, and if a goalie gets hurt, which we've had a lot of problems with the past couple of years, he'll come up as like the 3rd goalie.
Yeah.
So it kind of left us in a weird spot with that. So getting rid of DeSmith, I guess, makes sense. And now that leaves us with like only like 6 or 7 million on goalies, which isn't bad, all things considered. And I absolutely love getting Gronlin and Petrie off our books because Petrie was making like 6.25, Gronlin was making 5. So I absolutely love losing those 2 contracts.
Well, I
Couldn't be happier.
actually saw something saying that this trade actually cleared $3.1 million off Pittsburgh's
yeah.
total cap, which is pretty impressive considering you're bringing in Erik Karlsson,
'Cause
who has that high cap hit.
We only retained, I think, about like 3 million on his contract or something.
But
Like literally like 1.5 million. Like
Okay,
we're
yeah,
paying,
so-
we're paying 10 million of his $11.5 million contract.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
And we retained like 25% of Petrie's contract. So I mean,
that's
it's tough.
But
at
you
the
have
same
to move
time,
him.
We are like $79,000 over the cap hit right
Munch-
now.
Yeah.
Which is impressive as fuck.
And Montreal, I think, was a very solid middleman in this trade. They won with DeSmith, like the Montembeau or whatever.
Yeah.
He's okay, but like I think DeSmith is going to be a solid addition. For
And
Montreal.
they brought Petrie in, who's been there before, and
I
you know was
I don't understand why we ever traded for him. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna blame that on Hextall's dementia or something.
well, he was Philly legend, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe it was
Maybe
some collusion.
sabotage.
And then a second to Montreal, which is pretty, fair enough, I guess. But what I mean, Montreal, I think you could say is, if not the winner, but definitely up there, close to the winner of this trade, just being a middleman, like facilitator.
Like
They don't give up a lot, and they get back some decent returns. Obviously, Erik Karlsson, the big name, but
the only defense I could give Mike Greer in this trade is that he managed to only have to retain that little off of Carlson's contract.
Yeah.
Um,
And you get a first.
and we get a first. That's really solid too. But I was gonna say, like you said, Connor, second pick to Montreal. The more the drafts continue, the more we're seeing gems being found in like the later rounds. Which it's like obviously a first round is pretty solid, but I feel like you could have even added another pick to that trade for it to even be remotely close. Not maybe like a second or doesn't have to be a first, just for that to be like a little sweeter. But
Yeah.
like I said, Karlsson has a brutal contract. Like last year was the only season he kind of actually, and I mean when we first got him before he had that whole injury, like it's tough because he made history in San Jose and now he's moving on to something else, but you guys will still get a solid, if he's healthy, you guys will still get a solid 5 years out of him, I'd say.
And that's
Yeah.
all he's got left on his contract. So that's all we
Exactly.
need. Like,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Like how are you excited that he's there? Do you pair him with Chris Letang on your top pairing? You might
No.
be lacking a little
Hell
bit
no.
defensively there, but
just-
imagine the points between those two.
Yeah, like I'm thrilled to get him. Like obviously we've seen like firsthand and being here in Ottawa. Like we've
Yeah.
been to plenty of games and watched him play. Like fuck, like you know the guy can play. He just dropped 100 points and
On a
no
shit
offense.
team. No.
Yeah.
On a dog
Dude,
shit
you don't-
team.
a shitty San Jose, a rebuilding San
Yeah.
Jose team.
Yeah.
Like
We just
they're-
got a lot shitter.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think he'll put up the same numbers, but I feel like we're also not going to be asking him to put up the same numbers.
Your first power play is going to be gross though.
Like both are power plays, like Letang, Karlsson, like both those guys running the power play, like that's gonna be absurd. Even if we put them both on the power play, like that gives us
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Karlsson,
Getzel's up there too.
Gensel's hurt right now, but I mean he'll get out there. And
You guys
then
still have Raquel?
Raquel will be on the second unit with like it'll be fucking absurd. And
Yeah.
as long as we actually play like a half decent style of hockey, I feel like
Yeah.
it'll work great. So.
So do we think we could see Pittsburgh make a run this year for the Cup?
I mean, they're running out of time for their.
I was gonna say I think we have a 3-year window.
3-year window right now.
Like realistically,
Like this is the start of the window. If anything, I think this is the end.
it's the end, but we have like 3 legitimate years before Crosby, Malkin, and Letang just like can't do it.
Well, I think we're already seeing Malkin drop
Yeah, no, I've
fast.
I know Malkin's been dropping for years. Like he's not the same player that he once was. So,
Crosby's still kicking it though.
Crosby is probably a lot more underrated now than I think a lot of people give him credit for, just because everybody's so high on like McDavid, Matthews, McKinnon, like all these players are
Even
so high on them.
Draisaitl.
Like they're so high on those guys that what Crosby does goes under the radar, and Crosby still wins us games. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think you could see a push this year? I mean, you're definitely looking better.
I would love, like, I think we have to. I don't think after
Yeah.
doing this,
Yeah.
we can't just be like, okay, yeah, we're a wildcard team. Like,
Yeah.
I would legitimately need to see us actually push this year.
So are you a believer in Dubas?
Oh, the guy has made,
He made himself GM earlier this week, and then he pulls this off.
like,
Is he the Messiah?
the guy has been a godsend for us. Like, losing that game to Chicago might have been the best thing we've ever fucking done. The butterfly effect, like, fuck. I'm thrilled. Like, what he's doing. Like, I honestly think he did a good job in Toronto. He just, like, the guys didn't win.
Yeah.
Like, he built a legit team over there. Like, he gave them everything they needed, and then they just did not win. So,
Yeah.
like, he also came in at a tough time when Tampa Bay was really fucking strong. So,
Like, I am fully prepared to wait a decade until we see the playoffs again. And I am being dead serious. I do not think we will be anywhere close to the playoffs for at least 5 years.
that's debatable.
I don't know, man. Like,
If your young guys come in, like, if you guys properly develop them, like, if you Eklund could be a stud.
we have some guy who's been in our system for so long. We've spent so much like time trying to develop him, and he's just been a dud. And he was supposed to be so promising. Ryan
Merkley. Yeah.
He was supposed to be so promising. Eklund, that's the only thing I'm excited for this year, just to see him, like, see what he can do on a deadbeat team. He has no pressure. I mean, Zadina too. He was a no pressure signing. He literally has no expectations in San Jose. A $1 million contract. Like, if he bounces back, he's a former 7th overall pick, or something like that.
Like a 4th, isn't he, or something?
4th or something.
Merkley?
No, Zadina.
Oh, Zadina, yeah.
And he's like, how old is he now? Like 24, maybe.
22 or 23.
Yeah,
like,
so
he's like, he didn't really give much of a shot in Detroit, but Detroit's a fucking dumpster fire themselves. So
we'll see. I mean, should be an exciting season for, multiple reasons. Not for the Sharks, obviously, but we have Bedard coming up. Like we said last pod, this is a phenomenal rookie class. Like that Calder run, which it's kind of the lopsided, but there's a lot of young guns I think are going to be good this year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like I said last week, I don't know if a season like this stunts the growth of your young guys or improves them because they're getting playing time.
Yeah.
It's tough to say. I mean, Mike Hoffman might be your first line left wing or center there. So
I have to get a Hoffman jersey.
No, you do not. You do not need a Hoffman jersey. Please do not get that at all. Well, I guess we could try this Puckduku if you want.
Sure, I'm down. I play these every day. I haven't done today's though.
Yeah, so Puckduku is kind of like Wordle, mixed with footy tic-tac-toe.
It's literally like the quizzes we do when Connor says, "Give me a player who's played on this team and this team."
Malin, I don't know if you're.
is it just like the words though?
You'll see it if he pulls it up on. He's gonna pull it up on the screen. Once you see it, it'll make complete sense.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. This has been taking the NHL social media by storm here. But let's
No, these are actually so fun. It's like
give it a shot for today's. This is what we're looking at. We're going to kind of have 2 quizzes today, this being one. So
okay.
What we're looking for is someone who played for Nashville, Winnipeg, LA, Nashville, New Jersey, Nashville. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Played for 5+ teams, but also played for Winnipeg. So let's try and see if we can do this together. Boys, who has the first call they want to make?
I think Nino Niederreiter is
Winnipeg.
Nashville.
Winnipeg, Nashville.
Have fun spelling that. Just, yeah, put in
Nino.
Nino Niederreiter. Let's see. Perfect.
Oh, there we go.
So not too much of a rarity one. 40% of people thought of that, but you know what? Let's just try and get it done before we worry about getting lower in the percentage. For Montreal, LA, I immediately go to Philip Deneau.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So
I honestly am.
I'm not sure if we're doing this in a particular order, but I also, and I know we don't really speed run, but I have LA and Nashville.
Well, let Melon see if he can figure out it. Melon, it's your turn to figure out a square here. See if you can put any of them together. If not, he can slide it and save you here.
I was thinking Winnipeg, Montreal, Pierre-Luc Dubois, but that didn't happen.
That's fantasy land there. But
that was supposed to happen according to PLD. But
anything.
New Jersey, Nashville, PK Subban.
Oh, there's a good one coming out of there.
I knew there was somebody.
Melon.
I knew there was somebody there, and I was just like, who the fuck is
49. We haven't got under 39%, but Liam, come back in, see if you can get a square for us.
Arvidsson, LA, Nashville.
Arvidsson, LA, Nashville. Nice, Liam.
That's a good one.
Victor. Okay, let me just try.
Just write Arvidsson.
Yeah, let me. Oh, is Magna? Is it? No.
No, it's Victor.
Scroll down.
Scroll down.
You got it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to spell his fucking name. And then we'll keep.
It's ARVI.
Victor Ard.
Is it ADDR?
It's ARV.
Just Google it, Liam. Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Anyways, Arvidsson, 44%
44.
there. Spelling's not our strong suit. Now, we got 5+ teams played career.
Dunce.
What?
We could have used Subban for Montreal too.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh yeah.
Because now we might be jammed. But let's go to the 5+ teams, see what we can work out.
Oh yeah, Montreal, New Jersey might be.
But we got to be careful with the 5+ teams because we could be. Winnipeg and
5+ teams. So I'm thinking Jeff Carter has been on Columbus, L.A., Pittsburgh.
I don't know where you got
Anything
Columbus
else?
from.
He started in Columbus.
Columbus, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh.
Jeff Carter.
LA.
Jeff Carter?
Yeah, Philadelphia.
There's 4. I didn't know he played on Columbus. Are you thinking Mike Richards?
No, Jeff Carter was Philadelphia too.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to Google it.
could Paul Stastny be one for Winnipeg? Because he's been.
Paul Stastny has been everywhere. So let's see if Paul Stastny works. Yes, he does. 23%. Liam with the lowest percent of the Puckduku so far.
LA's going to be a tricky one.
LA 5+ teams is going to be a tricky one.
They're so fucking young.
I'm just trying to think of who did they have back in the day when they're making their deep runs.
Well, if we want to go way back, try to get the lower percentage.
Hold on,
Melon.
Montreal, New Jersey, Tyler Toffoli.
Oh! You are a smart cookie, aren't you? Let's select that. Oh, it's not up to date as of today. Maybe they have to play at least. I think they have to play at least one game. They have to play at least one game. Yeah.
Okay, now
Well, that fucking.
Gretzky was LA, Edmonton, Rangers. That's it, right?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
That's it.
Messier was.
To Google something.
That would probably be cheating.
Yeah, I don't know, but just shoot it out. Just shoot it out.
I was thinking Winnipeg, Montreal, Erik Comrie.
Oh yes, that is it. That is one.
Is that Comre?
Yeah. Erik
Comrie.
Oh shit.
Incorrect. Guys, we're both confident on that.
Did Andrew Ladd have a detour in Montreal or no?
No.
No, he was Islanders. So the good thing about this is we have 2 shots to get it, but then we can continue afterwards. It just won't count towards our.
Fuck. Hold on. Did Ilya Kovalchuk play in Winnipeg?
No.
He played for Atlanta. Would that count?
I don't.
No, I don't think.
Montreal, Winnipeg. I would say Kovalchuk. But.
2 shots left. I don't know if I explained for the audio listeners. Our top row is Nashville, Montreal, 5+ games careered, and then on the side we have Winnipeg, LA, New Jersey.
Winnipeg and
oh fuck, New Jersey 5 plus teams is Taylor Hall.
Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
Good shout. Yes, Taylor
8%.
Hall. 8%. That's gonna be tough to beat, Melon. Wow. So now we're looking at LA 5+ teams.
Did Galchenyuk play Winnipeg?
No, but he's been everywhere else in his life. And then Montreal, Winnipeg, and Montreal, New Jersey still need to be thought of. Okay. Let's delegate each one a square. Who wants to think of Montreal, Winnipeg players? I can try and do that one. Do you want New Jersey, Montreal, or do you want New Jersey, Montreal?
Doesn't matter to me, man. Like,
Okay.
Just honestly, just think and see if we can figure something
Well,
out.
I don't know.
There was a defender for Montreal. I think he played Winnipeg and
Edmund.
Winnipeg, Montreal. I think there's a defender.
No, not Pionk.
Pionk played Winnipeg.
Yeah, but
He is Winnipeg right now.
Yeah, he's not on Montreal, I don't think. I don't think Neil Pionk ever played for Montreal.
No, I don't think so.
New Jersey, Montreal. I just thinking Max Pacioretty, but unless he started, no, that was Zach Parise.
No, yeah.
No, I don't.
Why can't we put Pacioretty played with the Devils?
No, he didn't.
Oh wait, no, Hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
Shit, my bad. Because if we did, because Devil, I think we could have put PK Subban at Montreal Devils, and then I think we could have put that Trennan guy for Nashville, New Jersey. But
come
You
on,
can't use Subban twice.
let's just take a shot. How about it?
okay,
Let's go LA 5+ teams. Let's just put Jeff Carter. Let's see what happens.
keep playing. We'll get this. We only got 6 out of 9. That's like 66% basically. But
69.
LA 5 teams.
Let's think some of their depth. Trevor Lewis.
No.
No,
Dominic Moore.
Who?
Dominic Moore.
Dominic Moore. No. What about, has Derek Brassard ever played for the New Jersey Devils or Winnipeg Jets? Has he ever played for LA?
No, I don't think so.
Because when we're going through LA, like there's Adrian Kemp. No.
I'm thinking back in the day. I'm thinking like their old cup runs. They gotta have someone like that we're missing there in the depth.
Did Eric Stahl play for Winnipeg or New Jersey?
No.
Oh,
Let's each get one more guess each, and then we might have to throw in the towel.
okay. What's
Because this is tough.
who scored the
Alec Martinez.
Yeah, no, is he Vegas?
That's Vegas, LA.
Vegas, LA.
Come on.
Fuck, I'm out.
Come on.
Figure it out.
Devils and wait.
I don't know at all. I think we might have to throw in the towel. Our first ever Puckduku, we can't finish it.
LA 5+ teams. Corpusalo.
No.
Corpusalo was
Columbus.
LA, but Ottawa, Wynn County hasn't played yet. Liam, unless you have one more guess to throw in, we might have to throw in the towel.
I feel like we're missing. Okay, Gretzky
LA
was
5+ teams. Brizgalov.
Ilya Brizgalov
Ilya Brizgalov?
or Craig
Wrong.
No, Anderson. Why am I thinking he played for?
Wow.
What about okay? Gretzky was Edmonton, L.A. Why am I thinking there was like he played like one
Wayne
season?
Gretzky's not going to work.
Okay.
But
Damn.
our first Puckduku, we're out. We can't fill the board. So let us know if you know a Winnipeg Montreal player.
I feel like it's gonna be so off.
Yeah, so do I. A 5+ team played in career player who's played for the LA Kings, and a New Jersey Montreal player other than PK Subban. Please let us know, as we failed our first Puckduku. Just humbled, boys, eh?
That was good though.
Just humbled. We did do a good job. Melon, you are the victor with getting the lowest percentage with Taylor Hall for some reason. Not quite sure how. That was 8%.
Ken
But
Reardon played for Winnipeg, Montreal.
who?
Dale Weiss.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to remember Dale Weiss.
Yeah, because he looks like a rat.
Well, fellas, as I mentioned at the top of the show, the Premier League.
Montreal.
Oh, this better be good. You just.
Winnipeg is Michael Perreault. You know that guy?
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Or Matthew
Yes. Can I try my transition now again?
Perreault. Yeah, go for it.
Well, gentlemen, as I said at the start of the show, the Premier League returns in 5 days. Fellas, how excited are you for this? Melon?
I'm fucking pumped.
Back to every Saturday for you. Saturday, Sunday of pain for you.
I'm pumped.
I'm excited to see City smash Luton in our first game.
Luton?
Luton? I thought it was Luton.
Jesus Christ, we're off to a bad start. But Melon, are you looking forward to this season being someone that could be in a relegation battle?
New Jersey, Montreal, Thomas Tatar.
Answer the fucking question before we start looking at how stupid we were.
Fuck. Oh, what was the question?
Are you excited for the Premier League season, even though you're a fan of a relegation side?
Yes, I am excited. I feel like we have potential to be higher than relegation.
Yeah.
Like with the actual summer with Dyche in charge, and like he's actually like getting his training, his tactics, his shit down packed. Like I feel like we could be a lot like our preseason. We didn't let a goal in.
Who'd you play though?
We played Sporting in our last one, which isn't a bad competition, but we did play some weaker teams, obviously. But nevertheless, like our offense wasn't fantastic either. We only scored a goal each game if we did. So
yeah. And you just signed that striker there from Sporting.
Youssef Chermiti.
Any hope in him?
Oh, I'm so pumped for him. Like, I know it's like a joke in like Football Manager and shit, but I'm so pumped for the guy. Like, I feel like if Calvert-Lewin gets hurt, he'll have to step in essentially, and he'll have to play that role. So I feel like if he gets a lot of minutes and stuff, like he could really be good for us.
And what type of player is he? Do you know? Like, is he skillful? Is he more of a hold up player?
I think he is a bigger body, skinny but taller. I mean, like not like a heavier guy, but
yeah.
I think he's got some technical ability from some of the clips that I've seen. Like the guy can move the ball and like make runs and stuff. So I feel like he's a similar Calvert-Lewin, probably a little more mobile though.
Yep, for sure.
Which I love. So
I'm ready to let the decisions of 22 grown men make or break my mental health for a whole week. This is a big season for Chelsea. It's very up in the air how we're going to do. I mean, preseason looked...
You guys are going to be fine.
Very promising, but Nkunku's out for, I think, 3 weeks or maybe even 3 months. I forget now that I bring it up, but...
3 weeks to 3 months, it's a big difference.
No, I think it's 3 weeks because I don't think it's 3 months.
Big.
But he has an MCL, something wrong with his MCL in his knee.
Yeah.
I know he's missing the start of the season. I don't think it's 3 months, but, there's always... Maybe I read it wrong, but it's a big season for us. We need to bounce back, and I think there's no better way to do that than by telling the fans our predictions. So who wants to start? So we'll all start with our 20th pick, and then we'll move up. Liam, who do you have finishing 20th?
Luton
Town.
Yeah.
And why is that?
It's going to sound really ignorant, but I don't really know the team much, and just put them there because I think everyone else is better.
They don't really have a big name.
No.
Starting out, well, in 20th, I put Sheffield United. They just sold their best player to Marseille, and they're now selling their second best player to Burnley, Sandra Berg, by the look of it. I have no idea where the goals are going to come from in this team. They
Daniel Jefferson
don't really have a good defender other than that fellow from Bosnia, and
Baldock.
I think they're looking like they might break Derby County's record of least points ever. So I definitely have Sheffield rock bottom. Melon, who do you have finishing rock bottom?
I was I was thinking Luton too, is just because I don't think they've made enough signings, like Prem quality signings.
Is it Luton or Luton?
It's Luton.
I think it's Luton.
I think
I
that's
don't know.
the.
It depends on what my brain is
It's
saying.
Luton. It's Luton Town.
Luton Town.
It's Luton Town.
I don't want to
innit?
get slandered.
Well, you're gonna get slandered for.
Regardless, we're all getting slandered. So
Well, in 18th, I have Luton
19th.
finishing.
19.
Or 19th rather. I have Luton finishing because, yeah, I think you're right. I think they're going to be pretty bad, but I think it's going to be vibes. I mean, like, this is their first time in the Prem, I think, ever.
Yeah.
Then that tiny-ass stadium. I think they're going to have a good time, but I think when it comes down to it, they will not be staying up. Luton Town 19th for me.
But I think they could shock us in a sense that like they could not finish like horribly. Like I feel like it will be tough for a lot of the teams to go into that stadium and win games.
Yeah, it might be a fortress because it's so small. They're so close to the pitch. Who knows?
Who knows?
You know, home fans do a lot for a team.
Eggs are being thrown from the backyards.
Yeah, you exactly.
But yeah, no, I feel like they could shock us. 19th, I was gonna say Wolves, but I'll move them to 18th. I'll put Sheffield at 19th just because they're losing guys now.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say they have more, and they have a bit more Prem experience than Luton, so that's why I have them above Luton.
I also
Nice.
have Sheffield 19th as well.
Yeah, as well. Just same
Reasons, like
yeah.
they don't really have a big name.
or anyone you think you could surprise
Yeah.
there.
Because wasn't last time they were in the Prem, didn't they have Ramsdale?
Didn't
Didn't he get relegated? With
I don't
them?
know. Yes, I think they did have Rams on that, but I think Dean Henderson was starting for them back then. Coming in at 18th, Mellon, who do you have?
I just said I have Wolves. I feel like they've given up so many players and they've lost a lot of quality.
Yeah.
And they have they even made a signing? Like I don't even think I've seen their name anywhere. Like they haven't been linked with anybody. They sold Nathan Collins. They got rid of Neves. They got rid of Moutinho. They got rid of Jimenez. Like I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't really seem like a team that wants to stay up right now, in my opinion.
Well, I think there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes there. They're in big financial woes. But Liam, before I get on to that, who do you have in 18th?
Like my bottom 5 could be interchanged, but in 18th I have Burnley.
Burnley?
Yeah.
You don't
they're
think
staying up
any
either?
team is staying up then?
No, I don't think any team that came up is staying up.
Interesting.
Like
Very interesting.
But like I said, like Wolves could easily slide in there. They're in my bottom 5, but I just don't see the 3 coming up.
I think Wolves
up.
18th as well. Like Mellon said, they haven't signed anyone. They're selling. I think there's big financial issues behind the scenes. They have a great manager, but I do not think he's very happy with the state the club's going. So who knows? Maybe he'll walk out. Maybe he'll leave. But yes, I definitely see Wolves going down, sadly, because they were, a very strong mid-table team.
Well, they were
pushing for
low.
Europe even.
They were low last year.
Yeah, they were low last year.
They were dead last for a while, weren't they?
I swear to God, they finished like 7th one year, not too long ago.
Oh yeah, they've always in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
But last year they were in some
Yeah,
trouble
you could
until they
see it
signed
coming.
that new manager, right? So
Yeah, for sure. 17th, I have Everton.
Damn.
I don't see Everton going down purely because I think that club is ready for the fight, where I don't think Wolves are ready for the fight. I think Everton know it's going to be another struggling season. They need to stay up if they want that stadium built.
Yeah.
I'm not too moved by your defense. Your midfield, who knows about injuries? And your attack leaves me questioning a lot. If DCL can play more than 3 games in a row, you might be good. You're looking like you're getting rid of Damari Gray.
Yeah.
You're going to go in the season with Townsend. Like, who's going to be your attack?
I'm pretty sure we let go of Townsend.
Oh, there you go.
I know Wolby wants out too.
So
Daddy wants to play bigger matches, but I mean there really hasn't been anything. Deitch just told the fans he's like, okay, like if you guys you want me to communicate with you, realistically there's some things that could happen, but realistically not much else is gonna happen. Which it's shit to hear, but it's actually kind of nice to know that okay, you guys aren't planning to do much more, so you're being straightforward with us, it's what we want to hear. So I know we're gonna be low. I don't have any doubts about that.
But 17th, yes or no?
I would like to say 16th or 15th.
So
With my hopes and dreams, like if I want to win a few more games this year, not be so devastated every fucking week. But
that's asking for a lot.
no, I think the way McNeil finished the season last year was really strong. I feel like if Danjuma can actually come in and make a difference.
Danjuma and McNeil, I forgot about them.
Like, I feel like they could be a good, like, positive attacking winger set. Like, we got rid of Tom Davies, thank God. Pickford's committed to it. Patterson, if he stays healthy, is a great young right back. Tarkowski, we let go of Cody. We got Godfrey. Yeah, like, I don't... And, like, Ashley Young coming in can be, like, a good role model for, like, a lot of the players, too. So, and I think from the looks of it in preseason, Amadou Onana has taken a massive stride forward in his game.
But will someone just buy him from you?
That's...
In January.
If they're gonna buy, they're gonna have to pay a lot of fucking money for him. That's the thing. Like a lot of guys are saying, like, I've seen a lot of shit. It's gonna be like 80+ mil for him. Well, it's gonna be a similar situation as Caicedo, I think.
That seems a little too much for me. But who do you have 17th?
17th, Fulham.
Fulham. You see a big drop off from Fulham this year. And how come?
I mean, they're losing a lot of players. They lost Solomon. They're more than likely going to lose Mitrovic.
Yeah, that's still up to...
You know what? Let's switch Fulham with Bournemouth.
You're going to put Bournemouth down there now?
Bournemouth 17th.
I don't like Bournemouth at all. How did Arsenal already bottle the table? It's like beginning of the season. Bournemouth is alphabetically. How do you bottle a table already? What the fuck?
But you have Bournemouth.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about Bournemouth. I wanted to say Bournemouth 17.
I had them 17th because I just don't think like Kiefer Moore and Solanke are enough to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, they showed flashes last year,
And
but
then they lose Lerma.
But with
Crystal Palace. Jefferson Lerma.
I thought he went to Wolves.
Crystal Palace.
Oh.
But especially with
I'm
like
thinking Lamina.
with all of the talent coming from other like areas of Europe this year, I just don't think they have like any shine or spark.
And second season syndrome's a real thing, real worry. So Bournemouth for two of you. Liam, who do you have in 16th?
I put Wolves there. I had Wolves 16th, but I feel like, you know, they took a massive hit with everyone leaving. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like Bournemouth could easily be 16th, and it's just the bottom of the five. It's always so, like, neck and neck. Like, you don't really know who's getting relegated until, like, the last week because they're so close to one another, which is why it makes the relegation battle so interesting. But I have Wolves at 16th.
16th, I have Crystal Palace. I think they are probably going to be losing Olise to either Chelsea or Manchester City, which would be a big loss. They lost Zaha, someone who's been there forever. Roy Hodgson could be a health risk of a stroke. You know, he's like 75 years old. I think he's a good manager. I like the signing of that young Brazilian Franca they brought in, but... Yeah. I think I could see a struggling season from Crystal Palace, so I'm going to put him at 16th pretty confidently. Melon?
16th, I'll put Fulham there.
Fulham?
Yeah.
And because you're if they lose Mitrovic, it's...
I don't... And that, like, they sign Willian and then lose him 12 days later. I know that's not, like, a fucking massive thing, but still, like, is there no appeal to play there either? Then?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like second season syndrome, they are going to drop.
Yeah. Even after finishing so high last year, you think it's coming. Interesting. 15th, I have the Forest, the Nottingham Forest. I think they have a good manager. Gibbs White is absolutely class, but I think they need to figure out their best 11, get rid of all the cluster, get rid of all the confusion, figure it out, settle down, and put a charge to stay up. 15th, I have Forest.
I have Forest 15th as well. Same reasons. It was fun to watch them towards the end of the season there. Gibbs White, like you said, was just
baller.
Because was he at Sheffield before?
Yeah. And Wolves as well.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think they're in relegation whatsoever.
Yeah.
But they also, I think they're just going to be like middle bottom type.
Depending on who they get back in that crease, because I think Navas is going back, Dean Henderson's going back.
Yeah.
Then they just signed.
They have Matt Turner going in there, but like, there's a question mark over Matt Turner. But
Aren't they still talking about Dean Henderson though?
everyone's talking about Dean Henderson. I saw Saudi was talking about Dean Henderson.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Melon,
Now I have Everton.
Everton.
It's my hopeful. Like, okay, we're not going to be that close to the bottom this year. Maybe we'll hit 40 points. I think that's solid.
Couple wins on a weekend, eh? Would be nice.
I think we can beat Fulham first weekend of the season. Easily. I think we could.
You have a score prediction, early prediction? Get it in.
1-0. 1-0.
Obviously, these predictions are still hard to say because we have a lot of transfers still coming in. But
Yeah, that's true.
14th, I have Burnley. I think Burnley could surprise. I think they're looking decent. I think they play good football. I think Vincent Kompany is a good manager. I think a lot of people have Burnley staying up in pretty high places, which means they could be dog shit. But, they lost Mattinson, who was really important for them last season. I don't know. I think Burnley might 14th. I think that's pretty fair for Burnley in my eyes. Melon?
I think it's fair. I have them higher. I have Nottingham at 14.
I'm 14.
Yeah, I think it's like it's a low mid table for Nottingham. I feel like that's fair. Like they spent. You see that they're like the 7th highest spending team in England.
Who, Nottingham?
Yeah, they spent
Well, they
230 million on their 800 signings.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's a pretty good ratio, but
You have Nottingham 14th.
yeah.
I have Palace 14th.
Palace 14th.
They took a big hit with losing Zaha, and like you said, Elise is probably on the way out soon. I think they're just gonna be middle of the pack. Where'd they finish last season? They were like what, 12th or
Somewhere around there.
somewhere around there. Like I have Mellon's team right above them. So I don't know. I just think Palace is a 14th kind of team this year.
That's fair to say. So who do you have in 13th?
13th, I have Everton.
Wow.
I put Everton
Backing
13.
them more than their own fan here.
I just think, like, obviously they don't really have anybody to shine. But
Maybe Dan Juma.
But exactly, Dan Juma could be that guy for Everton. I think Everton's gonna shock some people this season. Obviously, not like
It's not
Massively.
gonna be like high scoring.
not mastery, but I do think they'll
Like a Burnley under dice sort of season, maybe counterattack or.
I feel like it's gonna just be like a lot of like 1-0 games.
exactly won't. I
Like
don't,
our wins, like against them. I feel like this year we could legitimately beat majority of those middle of the pack teams
yeah.
and like scrape the win.
So who do you got 13th?
Who do I have 13? I got it.
Well, while you do that, I'll.
Who did I say last? Burnley.
You said Burnley.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, I have Burnley 13th.
Oh you had Nottingham 14th.
Yeah, you have
Burnley
Burnley 13th.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you think they're going to take a step as well?
I think they'll be fine. I think they're gonna be that one team from the promotion that has a solid year.
Yeah.
So I
So
think
like a
13.
Fulham last year sort of thing. Well, I have 13th Fulham. I think you're right. They're going to take a step back, but I think if they can replace well, they have the manager to do it. So I think Fulham will still have a safe season. I think 13th is pretty good for Fulham. I mean, but it does depend on that Mitrovic replacement for sure. 12th, I have Bournemouth. I fucking hate Bournemouth, but I think they're in a weird position where they had a good season last year. Obviously, staying up for Bournemouth, they had a good run with their manager, and then they fired their manager and brought in an even better manager, which you don't see that often, where you fire someone after doing well to bring in an upgrade. I like their signings. They brought in some good underrated talents last year. So I think they'll stay right where they were, and we'll put them in 12th for me.
In
12th.
Yeah, in 12th I have Fulham.
Fulham, yep.
Kind of similar to where they were last year. They ended up like 10th or something like that.
Yeah, somewhere up there.
Somewhere up
I
there.
think they're in the single digits, but somewhere around that area.
Could be in the single digits there. But I have them 12th. Same sort of situation with Bournemouth. They don't really have anybody like flashy. Like obviously Mitrovic put on like a class season last year for them. But who knows? Like, he might not be staying there much longer with some rumors around him. But I don't know. Nothing to me screams like a Fulham repeat of last season. I think they'll fall a few spots.
Mellon?
12th at Brentford.
Brentford. Ooh.
I feel like they're not going to be top half the table just because like Tony is a big loss, and I feel like it's going to put a lot. And Mbuemo's hurt right now, so that's already another loss. I feel like they have a lot of guys that are going to have to come up and prove a bit, and they're losing David Raya, who is a really strong keeper, and I feel like there is a lot of question marks around these next keepers. I know a lot of people are saying FPL-wise, Flecken is a great choice and all this, but
Flecken.
From what I've heard preseason, he hasn't been the best keeper either. So I feel like there's a lot of question marks around that team, and I feel like they are due to drop off a little bit.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. But now on Raya, just quickly, as Liam's going to take a piss, that interest in Arsenal is really interesting to me because I don't really understand that. I get you're in the UCL, but I feel like Ramsdale was one of the best keepers in the league last year, and now you want to spend $40 million to bring in Raya. I feel they're pretty equal on talent. Like, yes, you want to have strong competition. I mean, you see that with Kepa and Robert Sanchez at Chelsea, but like, I'm not. Why would you spend that $40 million when you have a solid goalkeeper already?
I was gonna say, like, I don't understand it, but at the same time, I do understand it, right? Because like, obviously, I think the problem with that Arsenal team last year is that they didn't have enough depth, so they ran out of gas by the end of the season. They weren't able to withhold City's late season form. Yeah. So I feel like going out and getting all these depth players is smart. Like, I feel like that's like keeping Party. Like, I know he's whatever's surrounding him. He's a solid bench midfielder, and he can come play these no nonsense like group matches in the Champions League, right? Or play against some of the weaker teams in the Prem. Yeah. But I feel like $40 million on a backup, not a backup keeper, but a keeper that's going to play 50% of the games. That's a lot of fucking money. Like, that's more than most teams are willing to spend on their main goal. Like,
or their starting attacker even.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it's a lot. I feel like it's who else was buying for him?
Was
it Bayern, right?
Yes, Bayern were in for him. Yes.
Bayern were in for him, but I mean, like, even then, it's like if it was another Prem team, like say it was a top team like fucking Tottenham or like somebody else who's looking to take a step up, like I can see you going in and be like, okay, no, we don't want to see that happen. We'll spend the money on him. But if it's a team like Bayern who's not really going to affect you unless you play them in the Champions League, like I don't see the point in spending $40 million.
Yeah, Brentford's not going to be in the Champions League anytime soon. At least I don't think, according to this prediction. But coming in 11th, I have a team which is either going to do, I think, 11th or relegation battle, and that is West Ham. They sold Scamacca, which I think needs to get gone. They just sold Vlasic. They have all that Declan Rice money. They're bringing in Edson Alvarez.
They just signed Alvarez.
They want to bring in Maguire and McTominay for a $60 million package, but I don't think they're replacing well enough. They need a competent striker. Antonio, I don't think can do it all season. I think it's going to be...
We were linked to him for a bit.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a big season for Bowen. That midfield is leaving a lot to be desired. I mean, even Souček, Alvarez, and Paqueta, like that, I don't think's good enough. The defense is okay. The keeper situation's okay. But definitely going to be a very interesting season for West Ham. So I have them 11th. Liam, who do you got finishing 11th?
I, just like you, have West Ham at 11th. I think you look at their forwards, and if they get cooking, there's a lot of talent up there. But like you said, there's a few gaps in the midfield, which could lead to a lot of problems on their end. And similar to you, I think they finish 11th or way further down. But I also have them at 11th.
Interesting. 10th, I have Brentford. I think, yes, Tony will be out. They're going to lose Raya, but I think the thing about Brentford is they're very good at replacing players. They always seem to they're kind of like a lesser Brighton. They always seem to have someone that can fill that role and do just as well. I think Damsgaard could come out and surprise this season. He didn't really do much last year coming from Sampdoria. But yeah, I have 10th for Brentford, just purely off Tony out for half the season. They do have, I think his name's Kevin Schade or something.
The German kid.
Yeah, he's pretty highly touted there as well. I've heard some good things, but for me, 10th for Brentford.
Well, 11th I have Crystal Palace, since you skipped over me there.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize.
No worries. I think they're always mid-table, so who the fuck gives a shit?
Yeah,
so they can go in my 11th spot. I have West Ham at 10th.
Okay.
I just think last year was their first year playing European football. They had a really like that. I feel like they just didn't manage it well enough, and like I feel like there was a lot of pressure on them to do well, and they cracked under it. So this year there's a little less pressure. They lost some players, so they can just go out and just ball this year. So I feel like mid-table finish is more appropriate for them.
Nice. Liam?
I have Brentford 10th as well.
Nice.
I think they're just going to stay similar to where they were last year.
Nice.
Not much to my explanation there.
9th. You want to start it off, Liam? 9th?
9th, I have Brighton. I have Brighton at 9th. You know, they took a hit losing McAllister, but, you know, like we saw last year, Solly March was phenomenal for them. Mitoma was phenomenal for them. They have a Stupinan who was also really class for them. I think they're going to finish in the top 10. But I don't see them really moving from that position much because my top 8 are teams I think that are going to be fighting, could even be interchangeable for my top 4 in that top 8 spot, and I don't think Brighton really meets their requirements to fit in that. So I have them 9th.
9th, I also have Brighton.
Same.
And so does Mellon, I guess. But, I mean, if they lose Caicedo, that's going to be huge. He's not training with them anymore. Packed up all those things. Apparently today, like you said, McAllister, big loss. I'm not sure about this new keeper they brought in, but I guess we'll see what happens.
The interesting thing about Brighton, though, is the keeper that there's going to start for them started like 50% of the games last year.
In Steele?
Yeah.
I don't know if Steele can be... Yeah. Maybe that's like a one-season wonder. They did bring in that Belgian keeper who's pretty highly touted, but the one thing that really makes me put Brighton 9th is Europe. I'm not quite sure they have the depth to be playing, or I guess it's Europa League, so Thursday, Sunday, for majority of the weeks throughout the season. So I'm definitely going to slap them 9th. But De Zerbi's a class manager. They always seem to spawn in some random wonder kid out of nowhere that just takes the league by storm. So who knows? Brighton could be a team that surprises, but we all have them 9th.
I just wanna correct you. Verbruggen is Dutch. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
No one.
Sorry. My apologies.
Future Dutch national team goal.
Okay.
Sir.
Well, anything on Brighton there, Mellon?
I think losing Caicedo is going to hurt them. I feel like they're a team that could drop maybe a little bit further than we have them all ranked. But no, I feel like mid-table, just above mid-table is probably where they'll sit. Because I think they are a quality team still. And De Zerbi is really good manager, so.
Nice. Now we have 8th place. This one for me is very dependent on what Bayern Munich does. Now it's came out Spurs have rejected $100 million for Kane to Bayern Munich, so who knows? Maybe he stays. But in 8th, I have Spurs. I mean, like, will Son find his form? How will this new manager do? You know, Kulusevski and Son were inconsistent. Kane really carried that team. James Maddison now is a boost. The midfield, I'm not quite sure how that's going to look. Like, I hate Højbjerg. Their defense is just a mess. Maybe they bring in Tab Soba. They just brought in that fellow from Wolfsburg.
Van de Ven.
And then their keeper, Lloris, was dog shit last year. They have Vicaro or something from Empoli, I believe. Who knows how he's going to do. Italians usually never do too well in the Prem. But 8th, I have Spurs. Yes, I'm biased. I fucking hate Spurs. But I think that's pretty fair.
In 8th, I have Chelsea. On paper, that team has so much talent.
What?
But I just don't think it's gonna be like last year. They won't come together. You guys always have issues with injuries. like we just saw now, and Nkunku's out for like 3 weeks. He said, I just don't see, especially with the teams I have above them, I don't see Chelsea. Who knows? Spurs could drop with all the rumors around Kane, but I have the good old Chelsea FC in there.
Well,
My 8th spot.
Outrageous.
I gone a little bit of a different route. I think it's going to be Villa.
Villa.
I feel like they are European football this year, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, they made a lot of strong signings. Like Pau Torres, like it's a really good signing. Diaby's good, but I feel like they still aren't prem proven, right? So, like,
Yeah, it's
I think
hard to say.
they're going to be a solid team, and I feel like they're going to give a lot of teams problems. But I feel like, I don't know, I just see a lot of bounce back years for those big 6 teams that didn't do well. So
Yeah.
I have to take those places and drop Villa to 8th.
Well, in 7th, I have Aston Villa. I think this is going to be a huge year for Villa. I'm very, very high on Villa. I like the way Emery's got them playing. I think a front 3 of Bailey, if he can stay healthy, Watkins and Diaby, is lethal. Not much finishing up there, but a ton of pace. I think Watkins had a great season last year. I think their midfield's looking good. I think, what's that fella's name there? Came from Marseille. Kamara. Boubacar Kamara's great. I think John McGinn always has a screamer in his locker. Tielemans is great. Louise is underrated. And then I think I love what they're doing with their defense. Digne, Diego Carlos, now that he's back this year. Pau Torres, Emi Martinez in goal. Matty Cash. I think that's a solid team. I have them finishing 7th if all things go to plan in my head.
I don't really think I need to explain more. I also have Villa 7th, and you kind of touched upon everything there. So,
Alan?
7th, I have Tottenham.
Ooh, okay.
I feel like they will bounce back. Well, that's kind of what they were last year, wasn't it? They were same.
Yeah,
7.
same area.
I feel like they're gonna be a strong team. If Kane stays, that team is gonna be. They could shock a lot of people, I think. But at the same time, there's a lot of question marks about their midfield. I feel like Basuma should get a shot this year. I feel like they brought him in last year and he didn't really got the chance. So their defense, I'm excited about actually. I think Romero's fine. He's not a fantastic, not as hyped up as he should have been, but I'm excited to actually see Porro and Udogie.
Udogie.
But yeah, I'm excited to see those 2 play. So
6th? Who do we got at 6, boys?
I have Spurs at 6th.
Spurs at 6?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I think they could easily, like, I don't know. I think Spurs could easily drop to, like, maybe 9th, 8th. I don't know.
They could drop to, like, fucking 14.
They could drop to 14th for all we know, but I'm being the optimist here. Let's just, for the sake of the season, they have Kane, they have Son, and I think Son kind of had a little bit of an off year last year, but I think he
was
will.
hurt though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was hurt for a little bit. But I don't know. I don't see them going top 4 by any means, but I think 6th is a solid finish for them.
I wouldn't be surprised if they come out hot and like start like with 15 points in 6 games. Like it wouldn't surprise me at all, but then they'll cool off.
6th?
I have them 6th.
I have Newcastle.
I also have Newcastle.
I have them dropping off significantly. I think their team does not have.
They have a couple stars. Let's be honest. Isaac, Tonali, I think is going to be great.
I feel like a lot of their season is going to depend on how well Tonali does and how well he adjusts.
I think a lot of their season is going to be dependent on how good their mediocre players will do. We saw last year their mediocre players shine, play at a level way above what you expect from them. Can they do it again? Do they have the depth? They're in the Champions League. They do not have the depth to be playing in the Champions League and then a game on the weekend. Like, am I really going to see Joe Willock starting in the Champions League against whoever? I mean, it could be Real Madrid or something like that, or Sean Longstaff or whatever.
I think Tino Livramento is a great signing for Trippier.
Yeah.
Because it gives them the option to give Trippier a break.
Yep, I'm a big fan of Livramento, but I don't see the depth there, especially in some attacking areas like Almiron. Like, you're going to go in the season with Almiron. Harvey Barnes, even, very streaky player. Isaac's good. Wilson's great, but he can never stay fit. 6 for me, Newcastle. Number 5, who do we have there, folks?
I have Newcastle 5th.
Newcastle 5th?
I think they'll drop from 3rd, but I think they will I think 5th is a solid finish for them. I think they still have the talent. You know, I think Tenali is going to make or break what happens with them this year, but they have so much offensive potential. I just see them finishing like 5th. I don't know.
5th.
I have Chelsea 5th. I feel like it's definitely gonna be a bounce back year for them. They have to, or else they're in a lot of fucking trouble. But no, I think they definitely rebuilt their squad faster than anybody else can.
Yeah.
But no, I think they've made some good signings. I think like Nkunku is gonna be a solid player. Like Nicholas Jackson has been a really solid surprise for them. I think like I didn't know enough about the guy to even make a judgment call, but he's been surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Even,
Great.
Yeah, like I feel like even your defense, like you guys signed whoever the fuck you want. So,
Any
like,
French
Buffon
player.
gets hurt, Diassi comes in.
Yeah.
You have
Badiashile.
we're linked to Chalobah right now, which honestly for a loan, like if we bring him in on loan, wouldn't be that bad. I feel like it's a solid option. But like yeah, you guys have a lot of options, and even Robert Sanchez is a solid keeper. So
Yeah,
I feel like
especially his backup. I think that's good for 25 mil. Livermento paid that signing off because we had the sell on him, which was good business.
even fucking like Kepa or Robert, like they're both gonna be solid, like his number one. So
Yeah. Well, 5th.
We just said 5th.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. He just popped.
5th, I have Manchester United. Manchester United. I'm not very big on this whole United hype. Højlund doesn't move me. Does not move me at all. 80 million? Blood had 9 goals last year in the Serie A.
Blood.
Don't care how young he is. Sancho, washed. Anthony, useless. Bruno Fernandes, crybaby. Rashford, okay, fair enough. Rashford, fair enough. Casemiro, red card.
You're looking at that camera, and I know there's one person you're picturing.
I don't even know who
You're talking to right
who's
now.
the other midfielder that they just signed.
you're so funny.
Mason Mount, dog meat. Fucking dog shit. Traitor. Luke Shaw, Chilwell better. Lissandro Martinez, midget. Onana, it's all right. Manchester United 5th. I'm not moved.
Damn.
4th. Who you guys got?
I have Arsenal 4th.
What?
I have Arsenal. I have Arsenal 4th.
Okay.
I think they're. I don't know. I don't think they'll be second. Because we all know who's coming first. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the team I have in 3rd is going to make a good bounce back and you
I
know
wonder who's in 3rd for you.
cause some
Bounce back.
cause some trouble. I don't know. I don't think Arsenal is going to repeat what they did last year. Don't get me wrong. They have a phenomenal team, but I think the 3 I have in front of them are just going to be in better form this year.
Melon?
I have United 4th. Well, I mean they're a solid squad. I feel like Ten Hag is a good manager, so I know a lot of people don't really believe in all the hype around them.
Yeah.
Evidently.
I mean, I like him, but
Evidently, but I think they still have a solid squad. I feel like there is a lot of question marks. I'm not 100% sold on Holland either. Hodgland.
whatever.
Whatever the fuck.
Hog Rider.
Bust.
I'm not 100% set. I don't understand the 70 mil
It's a
price
great
tag on
banter
them
name.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Hog Rider. Sorry.
But yeah, I feel like they're still a solid squad.
Coming in 4th for me, I have Liverpool. I have Liverpool in 4th. This is very dependent on if they bring Lavia in, because they have no holding midfielder right now. They literally have McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Vibes. But
Trent.
well, yeah, but who fucking knows what's going to play with Trent? And if they do put Trent, maybe they're going to have to do the inverted thing. They don't have cover for him. Whatever. That's a different story. But I like their attack. They have great depth up front. Nunez, Gakpo, Jota, Diaz, Salah. Their midfield leaves the question if they bring in Lavia. I love it. I think it's class. And then defense, any defense with Van Dijk in it is great. And, of course, the best keeper in the entire league, Alisson, between the sticks. So I have Liverpool coming 4th place. 3rd.
I have Liverpool in 3rd.
Oh.
I think they're going to bounce back from where they were last year. McAllister is a great addition to their midfield. They're offensively sound. I think we're going to see Also, I think we're going to see a great second season from Darwin Núñez. I think last year there was the whole
At the start of the season,
the whole start of the season where there was the Haaland Núñez debate.
and I think we just
brutal.
wanted someone to compare. Haaland.
Yeah, but there's no comparison
I don't
there.
think anybody wanted to. It was literally just Liverpool.
It was just Liverpool fans being delusional. There was no comparison there.
always.
But I do think towards the end of the season, Núñez was starting to find a little bit of a groove. Throw in Gakpo in the mix, Diaz healthy. Yeah, I think it's going to...
healthy.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a great performance from a Liverpool team this season.
I think I have Liverpool as well at third. I think they're going to be a very high-scoring team. I feel like there's going to be a lot of that. I feel like their season is literally going to be the last game of last season. It's going to be what there was against Southampton, where they're going to allow a lot of goals, I think. I feel like defensively they haven't really gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah.
But I feel like attacking-wise they're going to be strong, so they're going to be able to beat a lot of teams just based on the fact that they can score more goals. But a lot of those bigger games they're going to have to play, I feel like they're going to get smoked.
Well, in third place, I have Chelsea. The vibes are back. The vibes are back at the team. We look happy. We look like a competent team. I know it's preseason. Poch, I know I said I didn't want you to come in because you used to manage Spurs. You know, I'll try and look past that. We look good. Our young players look phenomenal. We keep signing these random children from Brazil. They look good. Nicholas Jackson.
Random children from Brazil.
Nicholas Jackson. Next, Drogba? Who knows? But we don't have Europe. We can spend the whole week focusing on our team, who we have coming next. I like our depth. I like our players. I'm happy to watch. I'm excited to watch my team again. It's way better than under Graham Potter or fucking Frank Lampard. Great player. Love you, Frank. Shit manager. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
But I have us finishing third. I'm so excited for this season. In Kunku, I just looked out for 2 months, so he'll miss 8 games.
Jesus.
But Carney Chukwuemeka is going to step in there, and he's a fucking baller. Third place, Chelsea. Second, Arsenal. I love what they did to their squad. I love that they gave us $65 million for Kai Havertz. Declan Rice is a huge upgrade, but I don't think they have what it takes. Melon? City's just too good, eh?
I don't know. I'm interested. I feel like Arsenal.
I feel like it's going to be a close race this year.
No, I feel like it could be a very similar season as last year, sorry. But Arsenal might be able to hold it out this season. Possibly. But I still have City number 1. Just because it's fucking City and they just signed fucking Gvardiol and Kovacic and half the fucking Croatian team that made the fucking finals and whoever else the fuck they want. Yeah. So
second, I have United. I think they're going to shock the world, and I see United coming second. Rashford is just class. We'll see what Hogrider does up there. Yeah, like you said, 9 goals in the Serie A, but I think they have the offense they need there. Their midfield's pretty solid too, I think, and then they have the defensive core they need. I think it's going to be a battle between, not much of a battle, but I think United's going to be in there for the second spot.
And then first, City. When you have Erling Haaland up front, there's no question. Kevin De Bruyne behind him, there's no question. Not much needs to be said on that. However, I think it's going to be a very, very close top 4 this race this year. I think we could see things decided by only a margin of like 5 to 7 points, which would be great for the league overall. Yeah. Any thoughts on City? I know, Liam, you got a ton. Melon?
It's fucking City.
Yeah, that's all that needs to be said. And then to round out the show, we're going to do some quick fire predictions. Who do you guys have as your biggest surprise this season?
Burnley. Are we talking teams or players?
Teams or players. I did a player, but you could Burnley.
I did, player and team at Aston Villa, and I think I really want to see Moussa Diaby do some wonders.
Yeah, so you think surprise as well?
Yeah, Diaby, and then maybe throw in McAllister there too. Not that it would be a big surprise because he played well with Brighton last year, but...
Do you have a player for a big surprise?
Go ahead first, I'll think.
Well, for my big surprise team, I put Bournemouth because I think staying where they are, or even maybe even going higher, would be very, very good for Bournemouth. And then my biggest surprise player, Darwin Nunez. I could see him having a breakout year this year.
Darwin.
Melon, I'll let you think of a surprise player.
Dan Juma.
No.
I think Dan Juma's going to be very good.
Hog Rider.
No. Fuck, I don't even know, man.
Well,
So many fucking
Tarkowski.
players. No.
move on then. FPL gem. Who do you think is going to be an FPL gem? For me, I have Enciso from Brighton. I have him in my team right now. I think he can put up some points. He's cheap. I'm riding with Enciso for my FPL gem.
Like, what do you mean by gem? Like a guy who's
A
like...
player you don't think many people will have. That's
Oh.
that you think, or it could be someone like Erling Haaland,
I was gonna say Holland
because he's gonna get every point possible.
I think a gem will probably be James Madison.
James Madison, that's a good shout.
Like, I feel like he gets like a fucking class striker ahead of him now that he can put the ball into. So I think a lot of points. He'll have a jump this season in points for sure.
Liam, it's supposed to be quick fire. Just say a name.
I don't know. Like I think I have him in my team right now because I want to see how he does in the first week. Could get removed depending on how he does, but I'm gonna say Diaby again. I don't think.
You're really riding with Diaby.
I know. I love him. Love the guy.
Top 5 goal scorers next season. Here's who I got: Holland, obviously. Salah 2, Kane 3, Ollie Watkins 4, Darwin Nunez 5.
Jeez, mine was Holland 1,
Yep.
Kane 2,
Yeah.
Salah 3,
Yeah.
Rashford 4, and then my struggle with the 5th. I don't know. I don't know why I just threw him in there. Laughy one. I put Saka up there. Bukayo Saka.
Could be.
I know.
Okay. Calvert-Lewin.
I know this is
we go.
very dependent on what happens, but I have Kane 1,
Okay.
Holland 2,
Oh.
Watkins 3,
Oh.
Salah 4,
Oh.
and a 5th I'm kind of stuck on. I feel like it could be a Newcastle player, but at the same time, I feel like it just depends. Like, if Chelsea does well, I feel like Nicholas Jackson or Nkunku, whoever's playing that top spot, could easily have it. But if Nkunku's out now for 2 months,
Yeah.
then maybe give it to an Arsenal guy like Martinelli or Saka. So, I don't know. The 5 spot I'm kind of not set on.
Best signing.
Lionel Messi.
Yeah, it's pretty obviously Messi. I mean, he's absolutely ripping that
7
league
goals
apart.
for-
That is insane.
Yeah.
Like
The free kick last night was absurd.
he's single-handedly taking Miami out of like second last place.
You know what's
Yeah.
crazy? Like, none of these games have actually been for the league.
Yeah, now that I've
Like,
been league
it
games,
wasn't
it's all like
last night, like
cups.
yeah, no, it wasn't even like
It's
last
like a
night.
cup.
It's a
It's
cup.
still sick.
But Premier League best signing.
Premier League best.
No, we all know Messi's the best Premier League best signing. I put Diaby. I think he could really.
Yeah.
I think he could really impress. But coming over from the Bundesliga again, Bundesliga players always have a lot of hype. Never really turn out in the Prem. Liam,
I'm gonna say McAllister for Liverpool.
nice.
They were really missing a solid guy in there, and McAllister's him.
I was gonna say for the money, McAllister, and he's
McAllister?
Prem proven.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why the yeah.
Most assists.
De Bruyne.
I put Harry Kane.
The
Yeah.
I'll give it to Odegaard.
I'm gonna put De Bruyne or Trossard.
Young player of the season. I put Chukwuemeka. My star boy.
Levi Colwill.
Ooh, nice. Liam. Julian Alvarez.
Julian Alvarez.
Jesus Christ. And flop of the season, I put Kai Havertz or Mason Mount.
I put Nkunku.
Ooh. Flop of the season.
Romelu Lukaku to Juventus.
Flop of the season. I was gonna say I have to look at half these fucking transfers because there's been so many. But fuck, I feel like they just get lost. I don't know.
How do you think João Felix is gonna do this season?
I don't even know where he's gonna play, but flop of the season.
Flop of the season. Fuck me.
Whoa.
Oh goddamn. I'm gonna say.
Come on, think, buddy.
Saborslai.
Savoslai?
Saborslai.
I
I feel like not thinking of the flop of the season, but I feel like he's just not gonna live up to as
70
much hype.
million post.
as much hype as he's getting.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the 5 Back Podcast. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a 5-star rating on whatever audio platform you're listening to. We will be back next week for the start of the Premier League. Fellas, anything you want to say before we go? See ya.
Up the fucking